Welcome to the Seniors Rock Show, presented by the Law Office of Michael Robinson, PC, on News Radio Wham 1180. The Seniors Rock Show, a lively weekly discussion shining a bright light on aging with fun, entertainment, and important info for all adults. Join in with your comments or questions. Call or text 222-1180 or 1-800-295-1180. Now from the News Radio Wham 1180 studio in downtown Rochester, here's your host, Joanna Palvino.
Welcome to Seniors Rock Radio. I'm Joanna, and I hope you're enjoying your day so far. It's a Saturday, so I hope that makes you happy right out of the chute. And good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon, Joanna, and I'm happy it's Saturday.
Cool. How about you, Pam? Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday.
Thanks. Looking forward to a good show today. You know, it feels like we've been going like at warp speed since the pandemic restrictions let up. So I thought today we'd kick back a little bit and have some fun. So, and because it's also fun to eat from the Texas barbecue joint, Potato Shack, we're going to give away a $25 gift card to a lucky winner, and that'll really make some fun for today. So you listen, this is how it's going to happen. Listen for a classic Western tune like this, for example.
Keep moving, 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 though they're disapproving. Keep them doggies moving.
You get the idea. When you hear a song like that or that song, all you have to do is call and you could win. And the third caller will win. And you call 585, you know the number, 222-1180. That's 585-222-1180 when you hear a Western tune like that. Tell Pam when you call that you want to win. And if you are the third caller, you're going to get a gift certificate. So, and hey, let's get crazy, Mike. Let's give away a t-shirt too, or maybe 2 t-shirts from the Seniors Rock t-shirt shop. And that, folks, if you do want to see where they are, that's on seniorsrockradio.com. You can get your own t-shirt too, and you can wear it proudly because we love to let everybody know that Seniors Rock. So, to get more on a more serious note, and because October is Estate Planning Awareness Month, we're going to give the utmost attention today to Mike's Basics of Estate Planning. And that's going to come up first, and it is number 9 in the series today, and it's priceless information when you're related to your own legacy. Believe me, I know. I've been through this, and I work with Mike on my own estate plan, and it's quite interesting, and he really stays up on all the laws, so it's terrific. So after that, we're going to have a guest, and he's going to be calling from the West Coast. Actor and now director Tom Malloy is going to give us a buzz from LA. He's going to join us, and he's out there for the premiere of his latest film, and that's called Ask Me to Dance. Yep, we got a Hollywood connection for you today. And I think it's time to get the party started. So, the show allows me to introduce my co-host every week, and I'm proud to do that. He's a star estate planning and elder law attorney, Mike Robinson. And Mike has been sharing his decades of experience with us, as I said, every Saturday here on Seniors Rock with his Basics of Estate Planning. So it's a series, and it's very informative. And if you do want to hear the earlier episodes, you can go to seniorsrockradio.com and check those out. So remember, your questions are important, and your plans for the hard-earned assets that you have are also very important. So take advantage of this direct contact with Mike. You can call anytime in the next hour. Again, the number is 585-222-1180 if you have questions or comments, or just want to ask him something quickly about any of these subjects. If you don't want to be on the air, you're a little shy, just tell Pam. She'll give the question to Mike and he can answer it. So, and Pam is really nice, by the way. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid to call. It's 222-1180. And questions, comments are welcome for the next hour. We are live. And now let's hear some wisdom. Happy Saturday again, Mike.
Hey, Joanna, happy Saturday to you. And, I've got to say, I don't think I've ever heard the words "let's get the party started" and estate planning in the same sentence before. So, but I'll take it.
We're embracing it here.
There we go. And you're right. We are at episode 9 in our series, The Basics of Estate Planning. And today we're going to continue our discussion on strategies that people use to avoid probate. And of course, in a previous episode, we spent time discussing that, using a will to pass on your assets at death is going to require probate. And we looked at several reasons why people want to avoid probate. And then over the last several episodes, we've been discussing some of the shortcuts people use to try to avoid probate. And so the probate avoidance strategy we'll discuss today is using beneficiary designations. And specifically, we're going to discuss beneficiary designations for life insurance, annuities, and retirement accounts.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
I'm just going to interrupt real quick because I know we know what this is, but I'm going to ask you again, real quick, tell people what probate is because I think that's super important in what you're explaining.
Sure. Well, probate, to be very brief about it, is a court-supervised process for, first of all, determining the validity of someone's will, and then assuming it is valid and everything's been executed properly, then supervising the administration of the probate estate. So any assets that are passing through someone's will, that is all supervised by the court. And as we've talked about, it's a cumbersome proceeding. It certainly can be. There's a lot of problems that can arise. And so people do look to avoid probate when they can.
And I'll sum that up. Time and money, folks. That's what probate means. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I learned from you what it meant, and I think it's important. So go ahead.
Sure. So, so when we talk about using beneficiary designations, the question, Joanna, is not should you use a beneficiary designation, because not only should you use a beneficiary designation, it's the only way to transfer life insurance, annuity, and retirement account proceeds at your death. So the real question is, who should you name as beneficiary? And first of all, you should almost never name your estate as a beneficiary. If you name your estate as the beneficiary of a life insurance policy or an annuity contract or a retirement account, you're going to have to open a probate proceeding, which may otherwise have been totally unnecessary. And even if there would have been a probate anyway, naming your estate as beneficiary likely is going to increase the cost of the probate proceeding.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Is this something people might get that kind of advice? I mean, is this something someone might hear from someone who's not really educated?
You mean naming the estate as a
Yes,
beneficiary?
yes.
Oh, Joanna, I've seen it so many times, and
Okay.
it's it just catches people unawares, and
All right,
it does lead to a lot of unnecessary expense.
All right. That's one of the things I wanted to clear up. So then if you're not going to name your estate as beneficiary, what are your options?
So the options are, and the most straightforward one is to just name one or more individuals as a beneficiary. And then when you die, each beneficiary completes and signs claims forms for the financial institution, and the financial institution will send them a check. Now, for annuities and retirement accounts, you'll have some options besides receiving a lump sum check for the entire amount of the proceeds, and oftentimes there are tax reasons why you might choose to do so. And again, this seems pretty straightforward, but this is where we do run into problems. And just very quickly, if we've got a minor beneficiary, a special needs beneficiary, somebody who's just not good with money, beneficiary maybe who has some creditor problems or is in a high-risk profession, assets are subject to divorce, that's another risk. Or just generally, you have a beneficiary who's a human being, because if we're a human being, stuff happens. So one thing we typically recommend to folks is to name a trust for the benefit of that individual as a beneficiary. It allows us to address a host of problems, put a host of protections in place, and when done properly, no adverse tax consequences.
Well, that sounds like some good advice again. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your help, and thank you for doing this series every week. Folks, this is really good stuff, so tune in. If you have questions, again, you can call 222-1180. You're listening to Seniors Rock Radio, and we're going to be right back. It's all about you next on Radio Wham 1180.
Time for leprechauns, banshees, pixies, and hobgoblins to hold their annual powwow.
Yes, and the old witch rides through the skies on her broom.
Not this year, Lena. This year she streaks across the Milky Way with her knobby knees buckled into Bob Hope's toothbrush. There she goes.
But how would the witch get to know Bob Hope?
She accepted a blind date with him, the poor soul.
Sounds very romantic. Bing, I'll bet your kids have great plans for Halloween.
Yes, but I nipped them in the blueprint stage.
All
Why don't you
right.
let 'em go out and have
Bing
a look?
Crosby. We're back here on the Seniors Rock Radio Show, as we are every Saturday at this hour, with information and entertainment for all adults. And Joanna, speaking of entertainment, I'm pretty entertained by all of the Halloween displays I see people putting up in their yards.
Yeah, aren't they fun? Yeah, we've got somebody down the road here has a couple skeletons in the front yard, and every day you go by, they're like in a different position on a swing or dancing, or it's pretty funny. People
Yeah.
get very creative, right? How about
Boy,
out by
they
you?
do. Yeah, and they go all out.
Pam, do you decorate?
Oh yeah, I love decorating for Halloween. I actually have to go and
Oh.
get my pumpkins this weekend. I haven't done that yet.
Oh. I got my pumpkins, and it was really cute because it's a sheriff, I guess, from Hilton, he got 3 or 4 children. He comes over to near where we live and sets up the pumpkins, and he's teaching his children how to have a business. So we go back to them every year. I think that's really cool, and they're good prices.
There you
So
go.
yeah, that's really fun. And Halloween is like such a big deal now. And my husband's favorite movie is Halloween too, by the way. And I think the rumor is that this is the last one. So I'm guessing, I don't know. You think what's his name in the movie there in Halloween, the bad guy? I know it's
Michael.
Jamie.
Michael Myers,
Yeah,
right?
Michael. Yeah, Michael. So do you think Michael's gonna die? It's going to be the last. I don't know. It's up for debate.
I hope
Wow.
so,
What
but probably
what
not.
number will this be?
I don't even know, like 110. No, but I don't know. Jamie Lee Curtis. It's going to be her and Michael. I think. I think this is going to
Maybe
be
they
a
both die.
showdown. What, Pam?
Maybe
What?
they both die.
That's what I was thinking. You never know. It's right up there now with me with who's going to be the next James Bond. That's another
There you
big one.
go.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a French film, they'd both die.
Would be very dramatic, no doubt. Anyway, so what else was I going to say here? What's going on this weekend, Pam? Anything fun?
We're actually going to see Nick Mason, who was the drummer for Pink Floyd in Buffalo tomorrow night. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Wow.
My husband
I
is a
think
big Pink Floyd fan, so he's excited.
so is mine. I think isn't that funny? Yeah, we were just talking about Pink Floyd the other day, and I hadn't thought about it in years. It's weird how that stuff happens. It's like you get a new car and then you see them everywhere. Um. Anyway, um.
Pink Floyd? Yeah. I'm a Pink Floyd fan.
Yeah, and what else is happening? Oh, what about the Bills? Never mind the Pink Floyd. This
Well,
is
we were just talking. There's still 14-point favorites going into tomorrow's game, even with all of the injuries. So I don't know if we're going to do a 14-pointer. I think we'll win. I think even with the injuries, we've got the better roster. But hey, you never know. They took us out last year opening season.
Yeah. Well, I finally got a shirt. I don't usually watch football, but I did this year because, yeah, I think it's called a front runner. Anyway, everyone was having so much fun. I wanted to do it too. So I got a shirt. And then, yeah, that was the game they lost. So my husband says I have to turn my shirt in now.
Nah,
So I guess I'm stuck back home alone. But no, I'll watch it.
superstitions.
I'll sneak. I'll watch it anyway. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, what is it? What do I hear there in the background? Way in the background.
Keep moving, moving, moving. Oh, they're disapproving. Keep them doggies moving.
I smell Texas
Don't try
barbecue.
to understand them.
Mm,
Indeed.
yeah, it's good stuff. And the third caller is going to get a $25 gift certificate. So if you don't remember the number, it's 222-1180. Give us a call. Pam will take your call, and you could win a gift certificate. And we were mentioning the t-shirt shop earlier. We are going to be over at the Village at Unity on the end of the month on the 29th. We're going to do a live show. So that's going to be fun. And you will know us because we'll have our T-shirts on. Right, Mike? You have several different styles. What are you thinking? It'll depend on the weather, right?
Yeah, exactly. It could be the polo. That's always a good call.
Yeah. And that looks very distinguished on you as an attorney.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got
And
to
then
got to
there's,
stay appropriately dressed.
yes. And if it was outside, you could wear the sweatshirt because there is a sweatshirt.
That's true.
And if
That's
it was
true.
warm, you could wear the short sleeve T-shirt, which is one of my favorites because you could layer it. And there's also a tank top that the gals can layer.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, what were the other things that we were mentioning earlier that were coming up?
Well,
this
we
fall?
were talking about as we were, just talking about Halloween and fall in general. We were talking about how it's a great time of year to be grilling outside still, and some of the fun things. One of the things I like to do this time of year is clams on the grill.
Really?
Yeah, and just get a bag of clams, rinse them out well, and then just throw them right on the grill and cook them that way.
Oh, do you have to like put butter on them or oil or how do you do that?
No,
on
you
the
don't
grill?
have to. You can
Just put
you-
them like raw right
however you-
on.
Yeah, however you
Huh.
want. And I think we have a winner.
Oh, Anthony. Hello, Anthony. Are you there?
Hi, how are you today?
We're doing well, thank you. You're a winner. Thank you for calling. And are you a regular listener?
Oh, yes, every Saturday. I'm reaching 90 pretty soon.
Really? I love that. Congratulations on that, too. Boy, you're a winner all the way around.
And we get a lot of information from your show. I appreciate it. I live alone currently.
What area are you in?
14615.
1-5. Okay. All right. I didn't know if you were around the village there. Maybe you could get over and see us in a couple of weeks. But
Yeah,
we're
so-
so happy that you won today then. And Pam will get your information and we're going to mail you that gift certificate. And you're going to be able to go to the Potato Shack. Do you know where that is? It's in Greece on Westridge Road.
I have my son look it up for me.
Excellent. And you can have him, you can order it, have him order it, and then just go and pick it up and bring it over. And it's so good.
Oh, that would be very nice.
Can I ask you
He's
something?
probably going to want a little bit of that, Anthony.
Yeah. I wish we
All
had
right.
some sun, though, right now.
Yeah, same. And Anthony, can we ask you, what did you do in your lifetime?
I was a firefighter for 35 years.
Excellent.
Thank
for
you.
your service,
City of
Anthony,
Rock-
and thank you
City
for
of
being a
Rochester.
listener.
The law office of Michael Robinson, PC, has helped families protect their hard-earned wealth from nursing home expense, probate, and taxes. Visit us online to register for our free educational webinar to learn how you can protect you and your family. mrobinsonlaw.com.
Welcome back to Seniors Rock. I'm Joanna, and we are here now with a Rochester resident. His name is Tom Malloy, and he's here to tell us about his latest film called Ask Me to Dance. It opened nationwide yesterday, complete with a premiere party in Los Angeles. And Tom actually wrote, directed, and stars in this movie. So I'm excited to see it. And Tom and his children, excuse me, but they also happen to be my grandchildren, Ella, Grace, and Tyler. And they're two of our 5 wonderful grandchildren, and they are also out there with Tom, and they go to school in Webster, New York. So they're having a great time, and I know I saw some pictures of the premiere. Looks awesome. So they're still out there in Hollywood, and joining us now virtually is Tom Malloy. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Thank you so much for having me. Glad we could do this.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for joining us. Tom, is the film going to open here in Rochester?
It is. We actually purposely delayed it a week so that because I'm here in LA now, and then tomorrow I'll fly to Rochester and then set some stuff up, and then we open in Rochester on the 14th next Friday, and the other theater that was at Sarasota opens on the 14th in Florida because the executive producer Charlie Shrem and his wife Courtney live in Sarasota, so we pushed those 2 off so that we could get there and have a representation in person. So yeah.
Sure. Any festivities planned?
Yeah, well, we're going to do it. It's at Playing at Movies 10 in Rochester, like the Henrietta area. And evening showing. I think it plays 4 or 5 times a day, starting on Friday. But the evening showing is at 8 p.m. And so we're going to have 7 p.m. have like a backdrop, step and repeat, and some photographers so that we can everybody can take pictures of the poster and stuff like that. So we'll do a little thing in the lobby there before the screen.
Oh, fun.
Well, that is going to be fun. And I've been to some of your openings, and it is a good time. So, folks, check it out, 7 o'clock. That's on this Friday, the 14th, out at the Movies 10 in Henrietta. You know, I'm going to tell the folks real quick. Ask Me to Dance has been described, I've been reading about it, as a laugh out loud romantic comedy. It's a funny romantic comedy, a dating comedy with a lot of great dancing. And the synopsis that I read is that Jack and Jill separately meet a fortune teller who predict that they will meet the love of their lives before the end of the year. So both Jack, that's who Tom plays, and Jill go on a series of horrible and hilarious dates, each worse than the next. So the whole thing is, will the prophecy come true? Are the swing dance obsessed singles destined to meet and fall in love? Well, you'll have to see the movie to find out. But tell us, Tom, more about the dancing part.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been ballroom dancing on and off since like 1997 or gosh, even 96. But and just fell in love with a specific type of dance called West Coast swing, which is it's less of the big band music swing, which is East Coast swing. But I grew up listening to that. Artie Shaw, Glenn Miller. You played Glenn Miller there in The Mood. This West Coast swing was kind of a smoother, slinkier dance, and it could dance in contemporary music. And so I just fell in love with it. I did a different movie called Love and Dancing years back. That was Amy Smart and Billy Zane, myself, Betty White. I got to dance with Betty White. And but that one wasn't directed by me. That wasn't really my vision. So this one, I really wanted to put my vision and make it a laugh out loud, funny comedy that just had some great dancing. But I mean, one of the reviews said one of the most heartwarming, delightful, and funny romantic comedies since Love Actually, a perfect date movie. So I couldn't be more happy and blessed to be getting great reviews on the film.
Terrific.
Great stuff. And Tom, this is just your latest project. Tell the listeners where they might have heard your name or seen you before.
Well, especially if they're local to Rochester, I've done films in Rochester. I think I've done 4 now. It was the first one being a movie called The Alphabet Killer, which was loosely inspired by the double initial killings. And it was, I wrote it and was one of the producers, and I was in it with Eliza Dushku and Carrie Elways, Tim Hutton. But I also did, I did a movie called Hero of the Underworld. I did a movie called Fairhaven that we shot in Victor. And then there's one more that I'm missing. Hashtag Screamers. So so that one was the last one we did there, which was a found footage horror film that won all kinds of awards, played all these festivals. And so,
what does that mean?
I have
found footage. What does that
mean?
Found
footage means it's almost like when you it started really. There was a movie called Cannibal Holocaust, but it was really Blair Witch Project that made it a thing, which was that the camera, you're kind of talking to the camera, you're shooting it around, so it's like a first person type of thing. And the reason they call it found footage because the Blair Witch Project was pitched that somebody just happened to find this footage and then show it, and they go, oh my god, look at this stuff that happened. So that's how
now I get it. Okay,
thing.
I got it. All right, tell us some more about some of these memorable moments. We have a couple more minutes, but I know you've met a lot of people. I know Betty White was a big one. I love that.
Incredible. It's like it's almost like I equated it to, we've all been when you're in high school and there's a friend that you want to meet or like a pretty girl that you're hoping, then suddenly you show up in homeroom and that next year and they're in the class with you. And it's like, yes, all right, now they're in my class and you're going to be friends with them. That's a strange feeling because that's the same feeling when I do a new film and there's maybe an actor that I've watched my whole life. Greg Harrison from Trapper John MD, who's a good friend of mine. It's like, I didn't necessarily watch his show, but there's other people like Gabe Jarrett. Okay, Gabe Jarrett was the star of Real Genius, which is a movie I grew up watching. Now he's one of my best friends. We were just hung out last night, and he plays the priest in this movie. And it's like to be able to have these people in my life is a great thing, and I try to use them over and over again. In Ask Me to Dance, we had Joyce DeWitt, who was the star of Three's Company. She was Janet from Three's Company.
So, I can't wait. Yeah, she's a little older looking, but aren't we all? Yeah. And we love that on Seniors Rock. Tom, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful time the rest of the time down there in LA. I know you're leaving in a day or so. Give my love to Ella and to Tyler. And folks, go out there on the 14th, this Friday, Movies 10 in Henrietta. Thank you, Tom, again. And again, it's 7 o'clock reception. 8 o'clock screening. We're going to be there. It's going to be a fun time. So enjoy the rest of your time, Tom, in LA, and bring us back some sunshine, will you?
Thank you so much. I'll try.
Thanks, Tom.
Take care. All right. Thanks for having me.
The law office of Michael Robinson, PC, has helped families protect their hard-earned wealth from nursing home expense, probate, and taxes. Visit us online to register for our free educational webinar to learn how you can protect you and your family. mrobinsonlaw.com.
Well, that ought to mellow everyone out. Welcome back to the Seniors Rock Show here on News Radio Wham 1180. And Joanna, that reminds me, Monday we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day.
True.
Also Columbus Day, of course. And you know, listening to that too, just reminded me, and we were talking about this earlier, about the idea of what they call forest bathing.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, which is, you know, essentially just getting outside. I mean, literally in the woods and just spending some time there. But, you know, it could be in your backyard. It could be on a bench somewhere in a park or along a street where there's, you know, at least a few trees. But just anything to kind of just immerse yourself a little bit in the natural world around us. It you know, the science shows that can be a good stress reducer, lower blood pressure, you know, help with anxiety. So, you know, it's going to be a nice weekend. So I would encourage everybody to take an opportunity to do a little forest bathing.
Yeah. And I understand it doesn't have to be a long time. It could be like 10 or 20 minutes a day, but that you immerse your senses in the sights and sounds, just like with yoga sort of thing, where you're, you know, the goal is to live in the present, and that isn't easy to do. But if you're somewhere where you can, you know, zoom in on the sights and sounds that are, you know, outside of your head, that helps a little bit, I think, right?
Yeah, and boy, you hit the nail right on the head. Is it's really just about paying attention. You know, so often you know, I mean, I'm guilty of this. We all are. We're human beings. But you catch yourself, you're sitting somewhere and realize you're not paying any attention at all to what's going on around you. You know, you're thinking about work or projects at home, that kind of thing. So just, yeah, taking the time to just be present and pay attention to what's going on. And when you're out in the woods or anywhere in nature, that's just a more pleasant thing to do.
Absolutely. Or if you can't get out, I mean, even just to do it anywhere in your house, anywhere that you are, it takes some practice. I admit that. I think, you know, we're so busy all the time and thinking about so many things and trying to, you know, make plans, and it's hard to empty your head. It's hard to get all of those thoughts out and just be in the present. And I think there's a book about that too. You know, each day is a present, and that's or something like that. Anyway, it's it is hard to do at first, but it is certainly worth it, because it's amazing when you get to that point and you can be proud of yourself for doing that.
Absolutely. And you're right. It's a practice. Nobody's perfect at it. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Yeah, but it's good because it'll increase your well-being and your happiness. So it's very well worth doing. And I like to do yoga. I do a little bit different than I used to when I was younger. I mean, I don't get down on the floor as much, but there's a lot of things you can do, you know, just to stretch with yoga, and you know, just walking in the woods, like we were saying, just taking a walk at a park. Get out there and enjoy yourselves, folks. And I don't know what's going on this week. I know today's the Alzheimer's walk. That's big. So if you're out there listening to us, I hope it's going well. Even though the sun's not out, you'll be bringing the sunshine with your volunteerism and your passion for helping others. So that's a good thing. And next week, I hope you'll come back. We're here every Saturday from 12 till 1 on WHAM 1180. You can hear us anywhere that you are with the internet on iHeartRadio app, and that's free. Next week, we're going to have Agape Physical Therapy joining us, and they have some great tips, Mike, on how to keep moving. And, we get a little stiff as we get older, and they have some really easy, wonderful ways to keep moving and keep feeling good. So we hope you enjoyed this week's show. Mike?
Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great week. Be well and be kind.
Until we meet again, get out and have some fun. Remind everyone that you see that seniors rock. And go Bills!